Oh, well, hello there again, friend and family. I'm Davey, my grandson. I see you were able to sneak in past tricks again. Yeah, well, it's getting late again. And like always, she's curled up in a box from Amazon on the living room floor. It amazes me how you can buy something for your furry friends. They'll play with it for a minute or two, then they just rather get in the box, curl up, and go to sleep. And that's where she's at. Can't really blame her. Cause, well, getting to be around 7, about her nap time. With that said, we're going to be cooking up some rice tonight. And we're not going to be using a rice cooker or my Instapot. I went ahead and put that bad boy up. And I don't have a rice cooker anymore. My son took that when he moved out first time. Of course, he didn't bring it back when he come back second time. That's a long story. And really never had a need for a rice cooker. Now I did get one for my daughter Ashley, because she wanted one for Christmas last year. Personal size one that'd do 1 or 2 servings, and I did finally find one of those, even though it was difficult, and I got her one. That all being said, I have showed them how easy it is to cook regular rice. Rather than using those rice cups in the microwave, or buying that minute rice, or Uncle Ben's, which is basically parboiled rice pre-cooked. So what I'm going to do tonight, since I got to do it anyway, I need to cook me up some rice, go with my Asian beef and broccoli stir fry I made a couple days back. Get it on 8 up and gone. Figured I might as well show y'all again, kids, just how easy it is to make real rice. With that said, so we're going to get on with it. Okay, y'all, as always, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a pot. Now the size of the pot depends on how much rice you're cooking. We're only going to be cooking up a half cup of rice tonight. Reason being for that, something I want to mention right now, is you don't want to cook more rice than what you're going to use the next day or two, because rice can rapidly go bad even in the refrigerator. And something else you want to keep in mind is you need to get your rice back in the fridge cooling after you've done your dish, whatever it is. Reason being, like I said, bacteria can start forming in rice rapidly. It's recommended that you only leave rice out for 1 hour before refrigerating it or reheating. And then when you reheat it, make sure it's steaming hot. And you're going to need some cooking spray. Of course, you could go ahead and wipe down this pan with olive oil, butter, whatever. Do it old style. Now, I'd like to say something about the pan. It's not a Teflon pan. This is an old steel pan I've had forever. That does have an aluminum lid. And it was made in Mantewoka, Wisconsin. I probably butchered that name. But anyway, I'm sure that factory doesn't exist anymore. But I'm going to use olive oil spray, keep it from sticking. And you're going to need some rice. What we got here is just some white long grain rice. Now, if you want to be super healthy, you could use some long grain brown rice, but that takes a little bit different cooking times than the white enriched long grain rice. Then you're going to need some water. What we have here is purified tap water. You're going to need a bowl and a strainer. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. So that's all you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need a stove. Hey, check it out. I cleaned it up. I bet y'all thought I wouldn't. So with that said, we'll set up the old camera here and we'll get on with the first step. Now y'all, I've measured me out a half cup of white long grain rice. That's all I'm making tonight. Something to note is, using dry rice, when you cook it, it's a 3-to-1 ratio. So this half cup of dry rice is going to equal 1.5 cups cooked rice. Just bear that in mind. And then we're going to put it in this stainless steel bowl, just like that. Going to run some water over it. Very simple. Got that water on in there. Now what you're going to see, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. You see how milky that water looks? What's happening right now is it's washing off any rice dust from the milling process. White rice is milled. That's why it looks so white and round. Any insecticides or bug goo, but it's also going to wash off some of the starch from that rice, which means this rice is going to be less sticky. Now that being all said, you may want sticky rice if you're doing sushi. I'm not. I want light, fluffy rice. So what I'm going to do is sit there and just agitate that rice a little bit so it releases all that starch. See how milky that water is? Then what I'm going to do is take my little strainer right here and I'm going to pour that rice on in there. Just like that. Of course I missed some of it. That's just part of it. And we're going to give it a little shake. Going to put it back under the water. Rinse it some more while it's in that strainer. While we rub it around a little bit. And then we'll plop it back on in that bowl, just like that. We're going to fill it up with water again. Now you can probably see the water's not as white and cloudy. We're just going to agitate that rice with our fingers. Yes, I did wash my hands. I didn't do it on camera, but trust me, I didn't. There you go. It's not quite as white and opaque as it was with the first rinse. So with that said, we're going to take it out, pop it in that strainer again. And we're going to dump it back in the bowl again. And we're going to put some more cold, purified tap water back on in that bad boy. Oops, messed up there a little bit. And see, it's getting clear. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop it in there for the final time. Now you can continue this process so that water runs clear as you want. But you can see right there now, you can plainly see the rice. So that's clear enough for this old guy. So we're just going to pop it back in that strainer. Cut the water off. And we're going to proceed to the next step. So like you saw, we dumped our rice back in that bowl. It's been rinsed and cleaned. So now what we gotta do, we gotta get this pan sprayed. And I'm gonna have to set y'all up so I can do that. Y'all just hold your britches and we'll get that done. And we got our Great Value olive oil spray. You can give it a little bit of shake there. We're going to spray our pan. Why? We don't want it to stick. Sticking is the one thing that shies many people away from cooking rice. Okay, so we got our pan all sprayed up there so it won't stick. Next thing we're going to do, now remember, this is only 1/2 cup of rice, simple. And to cook rice, it's a 2-to-1 ratio between the rice and the water you're going to be using. But I do it a little bit differently based on experience. So what I've got here is 1 cup of water, and I'm going to put in another 1/4 cup. Now this is based on my experience and how I like my rice. I like my rice nice and moist, and I've learned by putting in a little bit extra, like here. It should have been 1/2 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. Put in that extra 1/4 cup because you're going to lose some of the water volume when you're bringing this up to a boil. Now what we're going to do, we're just going to put this over on the stove. And we're going to turn that stove right on. And hopefully it'll cooperate. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. But we got her going now. And we're going to go ahead and bring that water up to a boil. And that's going to take about 5 minutes. So just so we don't mess up, we're going to set a timer right there. And once that timer goes off, we'll come back and check, make sure that water's boiling. Okay? Well, there you go. That timer's going off. Let's check that water right now. See if it's boiling yet. Yep, she's in a boil. We're going to put y'all back over here out of the way so I don't get you burned. Because next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that rinsed off rice. We're going to get it on in that pan here. Now there was no salt in that water. And I want to reiterate why. Because salted water, i.e. salt water, takes longer to boil. Now you can, but it's going to take a little longer for that water to boil. So there we go. Got it on in there. We're going to cover it on up, and we're going to let that rice come to a simmer. Right now we got the heat on medium. That's about 5 or 6 on my stove. Yours might be different. We're going to turn this down to a 2. So it'll simmer, and we're going to set that timer for 10 minutes. Now here's the trick, folks. The amount of time depends on the amount of rice and the amount of water. I've got a 1/2 cup of rice, and I use 1 1/4 cups of water. And I know from experience that's about 10 minutes. And I base that on the fact that normally when I had a family, I'd cook about 1 cup of dried rice, and that would have 2 cups of water. Of course, I'd kick that up to about 2 1/4, and that would take 20 minutes. And this is the part about cooking rice that you just sort of got to get a feel for. But it ain't hard. If you ruin some, start over, try again. Ain't no big deal. So anyway, we're going to come back in 10 minutes and we're going to check that out and see what we got. Now, the secret here to cooking rice, see this lid? Leave it alone, at least till the timer goes off, okay? And we'll be back. Check it here in about 9 minutes. Well, y'all can hear it just like I can. That timer's went off. It's set for 10 minutes. Let's take a look at this rice. Well, it's still a little bit got juice in there. So we're going to give it another 5 minutes. And see, that's the important part about all this process. It may take a little longer, it may take a little less. We're just going to leave it in there, it's simmering. And we're going to set that timer for another 5 minutes. And we'll come back. Okay, we had another 5 minutes, timer just went off. Let's take a look at this rice now. So that'd be 15 minutes. 1 1/4 cups water and a 1/2 cup of rice. Let's take a look at it. Yep. That's just about perfect. Well, steaming up your glasses there. So what we're going to do is cut that heat off. And we're going to give it a check. Now I went and got me a spoon. So now we got the rice there. See it right there? Now look at that. Look at that. Now like I said, I like my rice to be a little bit moist. You can see it right there. Now that being said, as it sits in that pan, a lot of that moisture is going to continue to evaporate off. And we're just going to stick that lid right back on. Now it's at this time, I would go ahead and put me in some salt, pepper, whatever seasoning I like. That rice is a done deal. You know, no sticking. Can you see that? That stuff ain't stuck nowhere, kids. Now if you want a little bit drier, just add a couple more minutes. Throw that lid back on. But for me, this is perfect. Especially for what I'm going to be doing with it. And especially, since I probably won't eat all this rice tonight. Probably eat half of it. Be reheating another half tomorrow. And moisture rice just reheats better. So, there you have it. So y'all, that's it. It's just that easy. It's just something you got to learn. Because cooking rice without doing those microwave cups, box minute rice, Uncle Ben's, you don't need to be doing all that. Just need to get you a bag of rice, save some money. Start with my method and adjust. Like I said, normally I cook 1 cup of rice, and that's 2 cups of water. Then I add 1/4 more water, just because I like it moisture. And I know some's going to evaporate off during the boiling process. Then I let it go for 20 minutes. On this was a 1/2 cup of rice, 1 cup and 1/4 water, and we let it go for 15 minutes. You can see the result. But the point being, you don't want to keep picking up your lid, peeking at it. That's the hardest thing to learn. Don't be peeking. But y'all, till I see you next time on the next video, I want y'all to take care out there. Stay safe. And as always, God bless each and every one of you. For it's you who makes it all happen and keeps me stroking on. Goodbye for now.